Good evening, everyone. We are with Bhante Suseela, who's actually based in Canada but currently uh, stuck in Sri Lanka because of the COVID-19. And Bhante is very graciously offered to speak with this evening on a subject called reflection meditation. We are just waiting for a few more people to gather. I think, yeah, we have about 10 now already, and it's about 8:27. Let me quickly introduce Bhante to you so that you have an understanding of his background. Now, Bhante Suseela is actually the abbot of the Alberta Insight Meditation Center in Canada and also the Jaya Sumnarama Mahaviharaya in Sri Lanka. He also serves as the Buddhist chaplain at the University of Alberta in Canada and also the Northern Alberta Institute of Technology. Now I'd like to hand the mic over to Bhante Suseela, and Bhante will then conduct this evening's Dhamma talk, which will go on for about, I think, 30 minutes to 40 minutes, depending. I also understand that Bhante is saying that where he's located right now in Sri Lanka, there is a thunderstorm brewing. So there might be a possibility that we might get cut off if there's a huge thunderstorm in Sri Lanka where Bhante is based. So Bhante, would you like to switch on the mic and we can start now, Bhante?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay. Just maybe you can just give us a little introduction and then we can go straight into the Dhamma talk. Please,
So,
Bhante.
do you want me to introduce myself?
Yeah, just say something about yourself and because I think many of us really have never met you before. I know you have come and spoken at Buddhist Mahavira once, I think last year, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
But there are also a lot of new listeners
Mhm.
who have just joined us recently, and maybe you should just also, for what I've added on, maybe you can add on a little bit of yourself and the work that you do in Canada, and then
Mhm.
get into the Dhamma talk.
Okay, thank you. So, good evening, everyone. Thank you for having me, especially for Mr. Leslie, for inviting me on behalf of Buddhist Mahavihara. And this is my first time that I come online to give a talk to Dhamma Vihara, Mahavihara congregation. I was at Brickfield Temple in mid-December. Actually, I gave a talk and I conducted few programs for novitiate program. Currently, I based on Canada. The province is Alberta. Actually, I moved to Canada in 2016 from the US with the invitation of that temple. And so I took the responsibility to manage the temple. Then I'm currently abbot of the temple. 2 years back, we bought a new property for the temple, and now we are running a meditation center, which called Alberta Insight Meditation Center. And plus, I work as a Buddhist chaplain at University of Alberta and Northern Alberta Institute of Technology. That's a volunteer position, but I happily provide my service to that community because I can introduce the Buddhism for new people. Especially, I work with staff of the two both universities. Also, I do conduct many Dhamma programs around Alberta province, especially mindfulness programs for newcomers. And these days, I'm in Sri Lanka. I came to Sri Lanka right after my Malaysian trip was done. Then I was traveling here. Then I had to take the responsibility of this temple, which is I'm located now, because my teacher passed away exactly 1 month ago, and now I'm the abbot of this temple as well. So I'm kind of thinking now how I can manage my both places back and forth. It's quite a bit of task for me. However, it is very nice to see you and nice to see these people are very engaged with this Dhamma service of Buddhist Mahavihara. Also, I would like to proudly remind that I really enjoyed my time at Buddhist Mahavihara because the welcoming was very great. So also, I would like to say that Bhante Dhammananda is from my hometown, and Kirinda is very nearby to my temple, and I know his relatives as well. So therefore, I'm pretty much proud of this center and the program because about this relationship. So I think without going further about this introduction of me, I will continue my sermon. And as Mr. Leslie mentioned, there's a thunderstorm is going on here. Just to heads up, just in case if it is increasing, then I will probably stop the program for a few minutes. Then we'll wait to stop thunderstorm. Then we'll resume the program. We'll see how it goes. And anyway, this program is only just only for 30 to 35, 40 minutes. Also, you can question me end of the program as well. I will try to manage my sermon within 30 minutes. So let's start the teaching. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Dear Dhamma friends, as I mentioned earlier, and Mr. Leslie mentioned, the topic of the sermon is reflection meditations, and it has another word, and recollection meditation. Reflection meditation or recollection meditation, both are have the same meaning. So I'm going to use one sutra that taught by the Buddha, and I will read the sutra, then we'll discuss about it. The name of the sutra is Mahanama. The sutra comes in numerical discourse of books of 6, and sutra contains 6 types of reflection meditations. Sutra is Mahanama Sutta. Then I will read the sutra. On one occasion, the Blessed One was dwelling among the Sakyans at Kapilavattu in the banyan tree park. Then Mahanama, the Sakyan, approached the Blessed One, paid homage to him, sat down to one side, and said to the Blessed One, Bhante, how does a noble disciple who has arrived at truth and understood the teaching often dwell? Then Buddha told, here, Mahanama, a noble disciple recollects the Tathagata thus. The Blessed One is an Arahant, perfectly enlightened, accomplished in true knowledge and conduct, fortunate, knower of the world, unsurpassed, trainer of persons to be tamed, teacher of devas and humans, the enlightened one, the Blessed One. When a noble disciple recollects the Tathagata on that occasion, his mind is not obsessed by lust, hatred, or delusion. On that occasion, his mind is simply straight based on the Tathagata. A noble disciple whose mind is straight gains inspiration in the meaning, gains inspiration in the Dhamma, gains joy connected with the Dhamma. When he is joyful, rapture arises. For one with a rapturous mind, the body becomes tranquil. One tranquil in body feels pleasure. For one feeling pleasure, the mind becomes concentrated. This is called a noble disciple who dwells in balanced, aimed, and unbalanced population, who dwells unafflicted, aimed, and afflicted population. As one who has entered the stream of the Dhamma, he develops recollection of the Buddha. This is the part of the sutra. I hope you could hear me very clearly because the background noise is very loud. It is heavily raining here. So, what is the recollection meditation? I know many people like to meditate and they enjoy it, and some people are having trouble for meditation because I know I have had a lot of complaints from meditators about their meditation because mostly the teachers begin with breathing practice. Some people struggle to practice breathing meditation. Therefore, I began to teach this recollection or reflection meditations instead of breathing practice as a basic practice or as a foundation. And then people understood they can have the foundation or the basic structure of meditation with the recollection meditation, then they can move with breathing practice as well. So basically what these reflection meditations do for us, they support us to settle down ourselves, calm down ourselves, relax ourselves, and tranquilize ourselves. How that happens? Because when we meditate on the qualities of the Buddha, we remove the lust, hatred, and unknowingness or ignorance from us. Simply that we call lobha, dosa, moha. Unwholesome roots. We suppress these unwholesome roots by applying qualities of the Buddha. The Buddha's sublime qualities are wholesome. Then when we apply wholesome qualities, this unwholesome foundation, unwholesome roots cannot exist anymore because of these wholesomes. Then they suppress all wholesome roots coming up. Wholesome roots come up. What are the wholesome roots? Non-greediness or generosity, and loving kindness or compassion, metta, and wisdom. These three come up as wholesome roots. Then these wholesome roots support us to relax ourselves because of this practice, because of the Buddha's qualities. Then what happens when wholesome roots arose, and we easily get the happiness. Once the mind is happy, the body gets comfort. When the body is comfortable, the mind and the body is relaxed now, then we get easily concentrated. I am telling this with the personal experiences. Basically, what happens during the meditation is when we focused on a subject, an object that is wholesome, then unwholesome states suppress there. When wholesome states arise, then we keep focusing on wholesome states, wholesomes, then the mind gets tranquilized or relaxed. Then, this is the Buddha's qualities, and Buddha has stated here how and what happens when we focus on the Buddha's qualities. When we focus on the qualities, the mind gets straight and gain inspiration in the meaning of the Dhamma, and we get connected with the Dhamma, and we get joyfulness and the rapture and concentration, tranquility, pleasure, and etc. The second method of this meditation is recollecting and reflecting on the qualities of the Dhamma. And the third one is recollecting the qualities of the Sangha. So there are 9 qualities of the Buddha, actually 9 aggregates of the qualities of the Buddha, and 6 aggregates, so 6 categories of the qualities of the Dhamma. There are 9 aggregates of categories of the qualities of the Sangha. And then Buddha said, to recollect or reflect or our own virtues, behaviors as a meditation technique. So we take Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha as reflection meditation techniques. Then Buddha said, we recollect or we reflect on our own virtues to be concentrated. Then we recollect or we focus on our own generosity. Then we recollect or reflect on the deities as a recollection meditation. Why Buddha mentioned those meditations? Those are the primary foundation, primary practice of this teaching. Because as you know, we all have some sort of troubles for focusing. and we struggle and we worry, this is a good antidote. This is a good medication for our deep meditations. If you try these meditations, I'm sure you will be able to balance your mind and have a good focus and concentration. Then you can move with the other deep level of meditations. Therefore, I would suggest, if you have any inconvenience or any trouble or any struggle with focusing as a meditator, please use one of these recollection meditations. It is very easy actually. If you know the Buddha's qualities, we don't want to know all of them. We can get just a couple of qualities, then we can focus on it. And the qualities of the Dhamma and the Sangha. And especially the virtues, our own virtues. Mostly the society focus on our neighbor's virtues instead of our virtues. But Buddha said, and Buddha mentioned us, it's better to focus on our own virtues instead of others. Then we reflect and we recollect our virtues, how I was a good person and how I was virtuous and how much I have broken up. Then we recollect and we get that good part of our virtues and we focus on it. What happens? That support us to maintain these virtues and that support us to establish the virtues. Also, being virtuous is wholesome. Being virtuous is wholesome. That's why Buddha mentioned to recollect on it, reflect on it. Also, generosity. Think how many times you have done donations and dana and gift. So those all of those things are dana and generosity. And we can practice generosity mentally, verbally, and physically. Think how many times you have done this. Then get that one or couple of generous actions from the past and run them through your mind. Then while you are recollecting and reflecting on these previous generous actions, the mind will caught up with wholesome roots. These wholesome roots will support us to suppress unwholesome roots and states. Then the mind will calm and relax and tranquilized. Once we have balanced and relaxed mind, that's the way to gain the happiness and the rapture and the wisdom. Also, Buddha mentioned to recollect or reflect on deities. What's the purpose of recollecting these deities? Actually, they recollected, we need to recollect them and reflect them. When they were in the human world, they have done a lot of wholesome deeds, meritorious deeds, and by the power of that actions, and they now they are in the heaven. We get that as an example, and we think, oh, I also must do these good deeds, wholesome deeds, then I can enlighten myself in this very life. This is not to go to the heaven, but it is to purify ourselves in this very life. I think I have taken more time, so I would like to give some opportunity for the audience if they have any concerns or any questions. regarding these meditations.
Thank you, Bhante. To our listeners, are there any questions? If you have to do post them on our Facebook page, in the comment section. Bhante will be most happy to answer your queries. Bhante, for my personal curiosity, can you just explain a little bit more on meditation on the divine beings a bit? How do we
Mhm.
do this? You mentioned about
Actually, not we don't really focus on divine beings. It's we get their qualities and their fruits, their results as a qualities of them, because when they were in the human world, they have done a lot of meritorious deeds and wholesome deeds. By the power of that, they have been in the human or the divine worlds and deva worlds, and we get that their action as a lesson to recollect. And what we do, oh, they are there because of their good deeds, then I also must do all sort of these good deeds, wholesome deeds, and that way I focus on wholesomes. It is not about thinking it is not thinking about these devas or deities. We get there as an example to purify ourselves.
so. What kind of virtues are you talking about? As far as the divine beings or devas are concerned, what kind of virtues do we focus on or meditate upon?
You mean on virtues?
Yeah, on virtues. Uh,
Yeah,
Yeah,
actually, it's our own virtues. Like basically, we have five principles, right? Five precepts,
yeah.
and that's the main purpose here, because mostly people observe 8 or 10 precepts on full moon days. That's the one part, but mostly the five precepts are very related to people. Therefore, and have I done protecting lives, and how have I protected others' wealth and others' family lives, and how have I been uh, trustworthy to the world? And this is type of recollection.
Okay. Right. Thank
Yeah.
you, Bhante.
Uh,
Bhante,
we are
there
getting,
is a question. There's a question. Can
yeah.
you see that question? Yeah.
Yes, I do. So, Bhante, recollections are past experience that we remember about from the past. Doesn't this really entrap an attachment to the past and failing to being in present and stilling the mind? Uh, your comments, Bhante. That's a good question, and it's a very common question for me. Here, what Buddha mentioned, actually, so this might be a very lengthy conversation, because mostly we say being in the present moment. Actually, what is being in the present moment? We can just be in the present moment. Even animal can do it. Animal can do it while they are focusing on something and targeting something. They focus and they are well focused than humans sometimes. And the purpose of being in the present moment as a meditator, as a human, as a Buddhist practitioner, it's about focusing on wholesomes. And being here in the present moment, even we can focus on unwholesomes too. Therefore, it is not unhealthy to go to the past and take that unwholesome actions and recollect them to purify the present moment. Therefore, don't doubt about it and don't worry about it. It is wholesome, and this is taught by the Buddha. Therefore, there's nothing wrong with that going to the past, and we are not destroying the present, because we get the experience from the past and we use it in the present moment. We are not really being in the past, even though it is not bad because we are engaged with the wholesome deeds. And we need to develop wholesome mind states in order to go further with this practice. Therefore, we are not interrupted from the past as long as we focus on wholesome. That focusing energizes and encourage people to practice further. That's my concern, that's my understanding. I hope I answered your question.
Yeah, I think that question came from our brother Ravi Chandran. I think he was a Samanera at the Novitiate program.
Okay. Hello, Ali.
So I don't know whether Brother Ravi is happy with the explanation that Bhante has given. If not, Brother Ravi can actually post more comments or your questions on our Facebook page, and we'll try to get Bhante to answer it online on another day.
Mhm.
Uh, are there any more questions from the listeners? We have come to almost half an hour. This our planned talk was for about an hour, 40 minutes at max. But Bhante, how is the weather? Is it still pouring? Is it a thunderstorm?
It is pouring here and
Okay.
thundering. Luckily, we got
Yeah.
enough cyclone.
Yeah. So okay, I don't want to stress you out also because I know you're afraid that the equipment gets shorted out and you will have a big problem. So if
Yeah.
there are no more questions, we will end the Dhamma sermon now. Bhante, can you help us to just transfer the merits to the devas and the departed beings?
And so I will share the merits with everyone. Special thanks for Mr. Leslie for having me for this program, and also to Bhante Dhammaratan and all the resident monks at the temple. And I would like to share my gratitude and blessings with all the attendees here, our viewers, and thank you for listening. And thank you for allowing me to share this Dhamma. By the power of this Dhamma and by the power of our practice, may all the blessings be with you, especially by the power of this practice, all of these crises and all this pandemic of this world stay away from us, and all the heavenly being deities may protect us day and night, especially the whole world. And finally, we all are be able to overcome this samsaric cycle, attain to the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Uh, uh, so thank you, Bhante Suseela, for taking time of this evening to be with us. I really appreciate your efforts and your time. We look forward to you being with us again sometime soon, hopefully here at the Buddhist Mahavihara and not online. And hope you will stay safe in Sri Lanka and find safe passage back to Canada if you have to go back. So with that, we'll end this evening's Dhamma discussion and see you again soon. Sadhu.
Thank you. And you too, stay safe, please.